Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. And this is yet another episode of a series that we are doing with Miss Dilmi Mahadurage in our spirituality program. And today's topic is going to be very, very interesting. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who are looking forward to hear um, her responses around this topic. Now, before that, let me very quickly say Dilmi Mahadurage is a graduate of Vijayawardhanapura University, Sri Lanka. Um, she has the BSc in entrepreneurship, and she is also a CMA qualified accountant and also a neuro-linguistic practitioner. So, she has these qualifications on the one hand. However, after in search of, a period of the truth, because she felt during her, early days, and she felt that there's something else to what we are otherwise believing what we are experiencing. So then she has had an experience of awakening. It is through that awakening she is sharing her viewpoints with us. And today's topic is, are we in a matrix? Are we in a matrix? The reason why we opted to choose this topic was because, there are a lot of things said around illusion, dream, and this is not what is happening, and this is, this just a mind bluff, all these stories we are hearing from various spiritual leaders. Now here, we thought we'll get it from the horse's mouth, so to say. So let me start with this question from Dilmi. Dilmi, as you know, the background to this topic, because there are a lot of spiritual leaders who have mentioned that life is an illusion or life is a dream. And instead, you preferred to call it, are we in a matrix? Because that is what probably a lot of people will try to understand because of probably what they have seen through this movie and so on. Give us a start. Give us a good start as to why we need to address this answer. Are we in a matrix?
Yes, Dr. Vipula, like we are in a matrix. Here the matrix, like if you have watched the Matrix movie, I believe it's 1999. And here the difference between that movie and our reality, here the matrix is your own mind. So what I would say is that you are in a matrix of your own mind and trapped in there and believing that is true, and we like going beyond this matrix is what we are discussing here, and that's what's the question, how to do that. And the question what you ask is, are we in a matrix? Yes, we are.
Very good.
And yes.
Yeah, now, okay, now let's take the bull by the horn. Now, if we are in a matrix, or in other words, if it is a mind story in which we are living, now I want you to clear this. I am here, and there is outside, I can see the trees and the flowers, and and I travel along a timeline, and there is space between me and you.
Yeah.
Now, if you are saying that it is a matrix, it's a mind story, then all what I said is not really true. Is it?
Well, it is not true.
All right. Please elaborate. Yeah.
Yeah, like, for example, I could say that, Dr. Vipula, when you are having a dream, let's say you are having a dream. I'm just going back to the dream, but then like in the dream, so you will be having many figures. Let's say there'll be trees. there'll be houses and there'll be the background, and you will feel like you're going from this place to that space. But if you really look at that, once you wake up, it's just gone. So where's that space? Where are the figures? Do you see what I'm saying? So it's gone. Gone to where?
It's only when you wake up, you realize it was a dream. So, in other words, there has to be a waking up from this dream as well, because you use the
From
dream
this
example.
matrix, yes. You need to go beyond your mind in order to see this. And
well, yeah, go ahead. Because
and only in the space where the mind stops. Mind could stop for a moment, because I said the matrix here is your mind. Once this mind stops, it doesn't matter for how long, because the time is again an illusion. And at that particular point, you would see this whole illusion of matrix. And then it's perfectly created. And that is why the question comes how to go out of it, because it's just so perfect. There's no loophole. It looks so perfect. I mean, look at this. How can you possibly see there's some problem in this? And it's just some sort of a matrix which is created by your own mind. It's like a mind game, You're just hallucinating the whole time.
Dilmi, let me ask you now. Now I asked this question from several who are claiming this to be an illusion. Then now there is a body. Okay, now say, I have a body. Now I go before a mirror. Now let's say this may be happening in the dream. Okay, but I'm still asking you, right? I go before a mirror and then I see this body. Now I can see. Now I'm trying to refer this to the time factor. Okay, so we'll forget about the clock time. I'm trying to see how the time becomes very real. Okay, so you go before a mirror, you see your body, and after maybe a few years time, you see the body is not the same, and now you are getting older, and the body is not as strong as it used to be. So there is a perfect linear understanding. Okay, this was the body I had 20 years ago, and this, now forget about this 20-year story. This is the body that I had 20 years ago, but now it's not as strong as it used to be, and it is a near perfection to establish that there is time. Can you use that particular one and say that it is not true?
Well, that is how tricky the whole matrix is, Like even that you created it and you believe it to be true, and that's how it works. And for that, you took the example of the time, then let me tell you, when you are so, let's say you are talking with your beloved, and then you just are on a call and you feel like 3 hours passed, but you feel like this 1 minute, but then imagine you had a breakup and then 3 hours feels like 1 year.
yeah. But that's a mind-driven timing. But here the near perfection to establish that there is a time which is moving from the past to the future. Now, are you suggesting that is the very nature of the mind to make the illusion or make the matrix perfect?
Yes. Because your mind is sophisticated in order to keep the matrix alive, and that is what it's specialized in. And mind is so sophisticated. If I tell you one thing in this world, which is the most sophisticated in this world, is Dr. Vipula, the mind, not any computer or any AI, anything like that. It's just even AI or the computers are coming out of the mind. People think brain is something which is created there's some dilemma about that. But what I'm saying is brain is also in the mind, you know, and that's how it works. This is so sophisticated, and it makes you look this whole linear thing, and you have gone like just you were this way, and then you now you have become different, and now we are getting older, and that's how it perfectly created. That's why I said in the beginning, and even you believe that you created it, and you created the whole matrix in this way to go in the linear way, and then you believe it, and that's how it is. Whatever you believe in this matrix is what you see. You know, there's no you don't see anything as it is. You don't see as per your own beliefs. You know, yeah.
In the event of an awakening that this is not true, this is a perfect game, this is a perfect mind game by way of a matrix, so that you are just caught up, right? You are just caught up. Now, the person whom you say you is also part of a very much fraction of this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
In that way, that person has no escape, right? Because as a person, if I am looking for an escape, there's no escape, because this whole thing is just a fabrication, right?
Well, yeah, there is a way to escape, you know, and but you need to find. It's very subtle for you to find a escape.
Yeah, but
It's very
yeah,
subtle. Yeah.
let me ask you that question, because I want to ask that question after a couple of, I want you to describe this, so that our audience will have a better understanding. So I will ask you this question, how to get out of this misery, But now I use this time and space because these are the two pillars to keep this illusion going. Now, for example, when I see a tree, okay, there is a belief that I see the tree through my eyes. Okay, so there are so many things. I have my eyes, and through the eyes, I can see the tree. To that extent, one might say, all right, so that can happen even a dream. Now this time, yeah, I'm not talking about time. I'm talking about space. And I see the tree. And now there's a belief, I am here, I have my eyes, and then through my eyes, I see the tree. And that belief gets established and re-established and confirmed the moment I walk up to that tree and I touch the tree. You see?
Yeah.
So then it's very, very real. Now that is why, whatever the spiritual leaders, who have experienced this, there is no, time and space, this is just an illusion. Whatever they say, the listeners refuse to believe because of that thing. Not because of your family, your story, those are all there. But what I'm saying is, the one who is really into the search, the really into examination. I see the tree, fine, this could be an illusion. I am in an illusion, tree is an illusion. But the moment I walk up to the tree and touch, it is there.
Yeah. It is there. Of course it is there.
I know. So go ahead, because
So
these
it
are the...
is there, like the distance between you and the tree is just a thought. Just a thought. Like you could say you went to Australia, and what is the distance between the Australia and you? This whole creation, the matrix that I'm talking about, is the mind. The mind is created just as thoughts. Those are just, you are in like a collection of thoughts. Your world is created out of thoughts. The tree, the you, and the space and the time. Like, what if I say this whole thing is being created by just thoughts?
Conglomeration or collection or
Yes,
gamut of thought.
yes,
Yes,
yeah.
but can I ask you now, when you
And
use...
let me explain it further, Dr. Vipula. So if I tell you, because I go back to this dream, like, so let me, okay, can you just share with me some dream that you had at night? Dream.
It's
Okay.
I can tell you.
Yeah, just
Let me
explain the background and what was you
the last
doing.
dream that I saw was okay. most of the dreams that you experience, you forget in the morning.
Yeah,
But
it's
if you
fine.
can,
But some
yeah, but
just
yeah,
some.
but one dream, I was driving and at a fairly high speed, and then it was very real, I'll tell you. And then
Was there
as
any person around you?
yeah, there were vehicles, there's a
Oh, okay.
road, and I was with
Yeah.
someone else in the car. I can't remember. And I was driving, and I wanted to kind of overtake the vehicle, but we were
Oh,
going at a
okay.
very high speed. The moment I tried to overtake, and then I saw the other vehicle coming, you know, um, at a terrific speed. So I mean, I can't overtake that. So I quickly moved back, and that was very real. It was. So I mean, of course, then later you wake up and you say it's a dream. So I agree with you. So that was my last experience, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So as you explained it, doctor, like you were driving and there were other vehicles coming and there was a road and there was another person sitting next to you. So when you wake up, like
It's gone.
the like it's gone, and then
Yeah.
the cars, the what is the space between the cars and you? Now I'm
Yeah. I
asking you
put.
because that is the only, honestly speaking, Dr. Vipula, that is the only thing I can like make it approve because I have experienced this, but then again, to share this in words, this is one of the best examples that I could use, because this is very powerful. Because where's that space? What happened to that?
And
It's just it came out of nothingness and it goes back to the
it's
nothingness.
it's a perfect clue, so to say, right? It's a clue.
Exactly. Perfect. And that was
Yeah.
one of the biggest clues I had in my life. Like it's like a breadcrumb. And because the reason is, Dr. Vipula, when I was having the dream at night, I felt like I'm so involved in that. Sometimes when I even wake up that I can't, I just need to take some time in order for me to come to this reality. And then I was like, wow, this is so real to me. I was just having all the senses very real to me, and then it takes, honestly speaking, I don't know about someone else's experience. I'm telling from my experience. I take some time in order for me to come back from that dream state
Okay.
into this reality because it was so alive and real to me because I was so involved in that. Sometimes I was having some, like, let's say I'm having a dream of eating some cookies and then I'm so involved in that. It takes some time for me to come back here and then and I just stay reflecting in that, how real that I felt. That was one loophole I could say in this matrix. You were asking how to escape this. That is, I feel, one of the loopholes. If you really look within it,
Right. Yeah.
like,
Dilmi,
yeah,
hold on. I'll come to that because this is,
yeah,
I want to make this conversation important to our audience. You see,
yeah,
there is the reality of the matrix. There is a reality of suffering. There's so much of suffering. You look around, it's suffering and nothing but suffering. So this has to, help people one way or another. That's why I want to keep this question a little later. Now, if I, for example, ask you this, I mean, let's be very frank. Okay, I'm holding this bottle of water,
uh-huh,
and the bottle, the hand, me, it just that appearance, isn't it? I only
yeah,
want to say yes or no, because I don't want,
yeah,
because there are spiritual people, the whole gamut of people out there. They will, if I ask that simple question, they'll go on and on and on. That's not
yeah,
what we want. People
yeah,
want say yes. So this a fallacious thing that we believe in, right?
yeah, yeah.
All right. In
So,
that,
so what is the question you asking,
the
Dr.
question is,
Vipul?
this
Is
is the
that,
bottle.
yeah,
This is the bottle.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
water,
it
and I'm
is.
holding it.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we are saying yes. I mean, in our day-to-day
Of course you're
work,
holding it. Yeah,
I'm holding it. And then
yeah,
at the same time, we are saying, well, it's not true. That's not really what is happening.
yeah. But let me tell you one thing, Dr. Vipula. I'm not telling that this is completely an illusion because for a person who is having the dream, it is real for that person until they wake up. So I'm not telling it's a complete illusion.
Hmm.
You know, for a person who has gone beyond the matrix, yes, but that person, it could be something different. We are not going to talk about that because that's a different story, you know. But if you take a person who is living in this matrix, and it is definitely not
Yeah,
an illusion for that person. It
that's
is
right.
very real. It is very true for that person. You know, we
Okay,
need
I
to
agree.
start from there because that's
Yeah,
their truth. You know,
exactly.
maybe I've experienced this, and it's something that I'm sharing, and it is the reality. But yet, you need to ask, what is your truth? You know, this is
Absolutely. I think
yeah,
you want to be fair by the person whom you're talking to.
exactly.
I
This
think that
is
that makes sense.
completely
Yeah.
depends on the yes, yeah,
Now, then I'm still looking at the description so that I just want to keep um, uh, virtually keep harassing you with this question so that description becomes clear rather than you are jumping to some kind of areas that the people ought to be looking at. Now, let me see. Now, even to say we were born and we are dying, and what happens when this body eventually collapses? What happens? I mean, like, okay, we will go on. Even if this is an illusion, you will face the death.
yeah.
Now, say, I cannot remember how I was born, obviously, but what I'm saying is probably at least near death, I will have
Yeah.
some senses. Okay, I'm reaching. Unless you meet with an accident or something, then you wouldn't even know what has happened to you. Now, death, that description, death, I know you mentioned this, but can you relate it to this, from the reality's perspective?
Yeah. Okay, doctor, what if I tell you that your whole birth story is another fiction? You think you born in this 19, whatever the year that you were born in, and then you say, I was born in this particular hospital, and then you share all this. What if I tell you that the whole thing is an illusion? That you think, and then you will say, oh, no, Dilmi, I have the birth certificate, I can prove you. Yeah, but can you remember? Can you remember?
I remember going to school. Okay,
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
that.
remember.
Okay, but I'm talking about that whole birth. So I'm telling you, this is a whole imagination. This your birth story is a complete imagination, doctor. Like that's like a very root. Let me tell you one thing. This is like a real root which root you in this matrix. And if you can pull this out, because you believe in this, you're just believing your whole birth. So yeah, Dilmi, like look at my birth certificate. Yeah, I understand, but how do you believe this?
Um, now I
I mean,
like the way you're saying it.
yeah,
I like the way you're saying it. The reason is I don't think you should dilly dally and then go round and round and round. So you
yeah.
just thrashed out.
And then, Dr. Vipula, if that birth story is imagination and illusion, how could that death is real?
Okay, then
Yeah,
I'll throw the same thing back to you. Now you
yeah,
said when you are talking to someone who believes that this is real, you are born, you are traveling along a timeline. There's a linear, movement. The person who believes that, you said you will use the language that suits him. Okay, I agree.
yeah.
And then, say if I ask you now,
Let me add one thing more, Dr. Vipula.
yeah, go ahead.
When you wake up in the morning, okay, what if, like, yeah, like, what if you were like implanted with a memory of whatever the years, like, let's say, like
whatever that
But
I believed
okay,
happened.
yeah, let's say 40 or 40 years, like let's put like 40 years, and you were implanted with the 40 years of memory, and you wake up and you believe it to be true, and then you start living in that way. And this is what happens in the Total Recall movie, you know, that person just being implanted with the memory, and then he believes this is the story, but he was not that. It was just implanted by some other people. So do you see what I'm saying? How tricky is this? Like, I mean, I hope you understand, like, it's not easy to really convey this, but yet, like, I'm trying my best to share it. Like, what if you were just like that? Like, you were implanted with the memory of 40 years of, okay, Dr. Vipula, and this is all the history and all that, and then just like that, you were
And you
born.
make everything else to suit that scenario.
Exactly. That's it. That's what happens in the Total Recall movie. And then he just
I
start,
watched that.
and then where he's just in a journey of finding who he is, because he realized that
This is not
like,
me.
yeah, because he gets some clues that this is not the character of who he is, you know, like, and then he was being implanted with a completely new set of memories to him,
Okay.
and then he goes in a journey of finding who he is, and that
All right.
just
So
yeah.
let's say total recall. You will apply that to this now. Say today I'm getting up and I'm 30 years old and I live in Los Angeles and I come out and okay, everything, maybe I have a place of work also.
Yeah,
Fine. Then I come home, then I fall asleep. So I remember
yeah,
that. Then next day I wake up, then I am in, Stockholm in Sweden, and then
yeah.
it's fairly cold, and then I will sort of now, by that time, I will look back and say, hey, yesterday I was in Los Angeles. I was 30 years, but now I'm 70 years old. So this is an illusion. That's fair enough, right? Because then I know for sure this is an illusion. But now I don't know this is an illusion. Why? Because everything is perfect. From the birth, from the birth
How
certificate.
do you, like, the question is, doctor, how do you even believe your own memory?
I know. You have to question like that
Exactly.
because
This is why I'm saying, Dr. Vipula, you got to question everything, even the so-called obvious things. Your birth story is like, tell me, this is my birth story. I born in this date, like this year, and this hospital. Like, look at my birth certificate. You know, you would say that, but question, you know, can you, like, how do you know? Everything that you ever known, Dr. Vipul, is being shared by someone else, or you read it in a book,
right,
you
right,
know, and then the whole birth story was shared by your parents.
right,
Tell me, this is the year that you're born in, this is the
right.
hospital, and look at your birth certificate, and then I born in here, and then I just completely believe that I took it on, and then I started living, okay, I created my history line, nicely linearly going on, but is that what's going on? What if we start questioning even from there? Even the so-called obvious stuffs in your life, these things you will never even touch, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Forget about
Right.
the rest. Yeah,
This is a very mundane question now.
yeah.
Now, people speak about consciousness and then they talk about minds. Now, are you suggesting that it is a mind fabrication? Are you by any means saying that these are individual minds or just one big thing in which everything happens? In which you have this contracted thinking, I am a person. Is that how you would like to describe?
Yeah,
You
it's
see, you
like, it's not individual minds, as to
right.
say, Dr. Vipul, it's like a universal mind.
Okay, all right.
You are having a dream of, like, yes, it's a universal mind, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then where does this individuality, the sense of separate self, arise?
Yes,
Where does it arise? That is also part of the game, is it?
it is the part of the game. You know, it is the part of the game, because it's like your mind create this distinction. Dr. Vipula, Dilmi, the home, the bottle, the laptop. It's like it creates the whole distinctions. And then there comes the problems, and then there comes the conflict.
When I say it's so perfect, it's so perfect. I mean, you are talking to me at a distance, and I believe that I'm talking to you. But if I come in search of you within the next 1 hour, then I will see you in real. And then if I touch you, I feel you. So, so it is real to that extent, right?
Yeah,
it
of
is
course
real to that.
It is real to that extent.
That extent. That
because
means
because the thing is, you generated so-called Dr. Vipula, and then you created. Like when I say you created, this is again like there's some
again,
problem with that. But I mean, let's
yeah.
be honest. Like you need to talk in some way, right? And then you created the whole illusion of the so-called Dilmi, and then you just imagine yourself to come in here, and then you imagine how it feels like to touch or like give a tap on me, and then even that you were imagining. The whole thing was like created in a perfection. I mean, look at you, like, look at your hand and see how perfectly created, like how much in detail it has got. You could cry looking at it, just your, your hand, like how much in precision, like how much in detail it has been created, because it's your own mind. And look at how intelligent is this whole creation. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I said, like, after
it's
going through the
beyond.
awakening.
Yeah. It's
After
beyond
going through the
intelligence.
awakening, yes. What I've seen now with like this whole creation, and sometimes like people go and people
your voice
go.
is getting dragged down. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah. So normally people go for a movie and eat popcorn. For my my way of eating popcorn is looking at the rain. I go to the balcony and then that's what I am watching. Because it's just that just beyond words. Let me look at a sunset.
Absolutely.
I mean, like sometimes I look at sky, Dr. Vipula, just like I remember one time I was going to Singapore, and in the flight, I was in tears. Look, I mean that what I mean with the clouds, I saw such a something very amazing, and I was in tears.
And you are not traveling either, right? I mean, you are not going anywhere, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Not
Because
going anywhere.
yeah, okay. Now, before I come to ask you for some tips and solutions, let me also ask you whether it is true now. This reality that you are talking about can destroy all the, ill will, hatred, and raga, desha, moha, you name it. It can destroy this whole thing because it's part of the the material that keeps this fire burning, right?
Yeah, that is the duality. And this, like, I'm not saying that, it's just that, but that's what you call duality. That is how the mind created the whole creation. It created raga, dvesha, moha, like let's say that, whatever the way you call it, and it just created this distinction. Okay, this is anger. This is like another emotion, happiness, jealousy, sexuality, or like whatever, and then you create all these distinctions, and then there comes the conflict, and now you want to be just you push it away, the anger, and then you want just to be like kind and compassion. There comes the conflict. And what you see outside this whole conflict that you're talking about is a conflict within you.
Absolutely. No, what I meant was, that you recognize that it's all you. It's only after seeing that this is a matrix, because otherwise then you are in a huge conflict, because you are trying to fight yourself. kind of.
Exactly. Fight yourself, because this is how it is. This is the nature. This is the nature. And there was one time it was even talking about Osho, like where he says that either the world is in a war, having a war, or there's a preparation going on for a war.
Okay. Didn't he
Yeah.
say either it's war or peace? Total peace or total war?
No, like the thing is, like, people look at in this whole distinctions, like they just identify with one thing, but then this is the reality, is just form and formless coming together, But
Yeah,
our
that's right.
mind tendency is just want to get identified with one extreme,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't use the word subject, object, reality, because that is discussed in non-duality at that length. But instead, I'm using these basic words, so that people will understand. So you mean to say, if you are having a conversation with head of NASA, for example, and you are saying this, and they say, Dilmi, what are you saying? We are examining the characteristics of Mars right now, and after that we will go to the next planet, and then after that it's I mean, it's a total paradox, isn't it?
Yeah, nice. I will also join them to go to Mars.
Yeah, because you are also in the
If they
game, right?
give me a ticket, yeah, why not?
Right. Dilmi,
Yeah,
I want to. I mean, this is not a. Although we are just laughing away, but I still want to bring out
it
this
is.
human.
Yeah,
No, it
yeah,
is human suffering. I just want to tell you the amount of
yeah,
this human suffering is all over. Whatever the way we look at it, even if we laugh, even if smile, even if something good happens, it is just temporary. But again, it's underpinned by the suffering. So this might probably help the people who have gone through immense suffering, either physical or mental. Right. Now
yeah.
you tell us, how do we see this reality, which we thought otherwise is something else all this time?
Yeah. How do we see this reality? Like, what I would say is just be true to yourself and go follow your heart, Like, most of the people are not looking for a reality or anything as to say. They are looking for happiness, So if that is what resonates with you, then go running towards that happiness, and you will end up in the reality.
You need to clarify that,
Yeah.
in the sense, if my heart tells me, you go and hammer this person who is, behaving badly, you go and
Yeah.
hammer the person. But then where these ethics come in, and, the
Can you
civil.
elaborate the question, Dr.
No,
Vipula?
no,
Yeah.
you
Are you
said,
talking about the suffering of the
yeah,
humans? I
no,
don't know
what you.
whether I got
No,
understood the
that's okay. No, I
question.
asked,
Yeah.
how do people make an attempt to see what you have seen? Okay. Now, the first thing is,
Yes.
you said follow the heart. All right.
Follow the heart and go. No, I mean, I believe that even when I started the journey, because I was in a deep suffering. I was in pain. I want some solution. I wanted to go beyond. I felt there's something really off. I was not looking for anything as such reality or who I am and enlightenment or moksha or anything, any such words as such. It's just, I want some happiness. I was just wanting to go beyond this and just, so what I'm saying is, even if you go looking for this happiness, eventually you will come to the reality, because everyone in reality, even though they don't know that they are doing this, every person, whoever, what they do, are looking for the truth. Looking for the truth, that's it.
Or in other words, every action, everything that happens around us, telling us, look, you look at this, right? The
Yeah,
every thought, feeling, sensation,
yeah,
emotion,
yeah,
everything
yeah,
tells us,
yeah.
look, this is not what you are really experiencing.
Exactly. Yeah. So do what feels right to you, and then if don't worry about these big words, just look for happiness. And what I would say is like you will end up in like honestly speaking, Dr. Vipula, everyone is trying to become the whole, but in the problem is in a very, very limited way. Some people would try to accumulate more money, more money, more money, more money. Like it's like, and another person would be like maybe like having a family, and then like just it's just everyone at the end what they're trying to become is this whole, to see
Even
this
even even doing drugs and having alcohol, still they are looking for the same thing, right?
same thing, same thing. So that's why
All
I
right.
said, if you don't worry about enlightenment or any truth or anything like that, start from happiness, go just follow that, and you will definitely 100% end up in the truth.
What about meditation? Nowadays, some people are heavily indulged in various practices. You
Yeah,
have
yeah,
Buddhist meditation, Zen meditation, transcendental meditation,
yeah.
and there are various yoga teachings on meditation.
Yes,
Well, I don't know now. From the way you are saying this, I get this impression that some of the practices will make your present beautiful, isn't it? You are in a prison anyway, and you will make
yeah.
your prison, decorate it and then make it look nicer. Is that because you are still in the belief that you are a separate self?
Yeah, like so, yeah. So, well, in a way that these practices could help you to go see the truth, see the reality, because I can see that when I do the meditation, this whole psychological memories just fades away, for that. So there's a huge support from meditation. I cannot deny any of these practices for sure. But at the same time, there could be people who are just deluding themselves, just decorating their present. For example, one of like uh, this whole law of attraction also in a way that you're decorating the whole nicely your present in a more
Okay.
nicer way. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, it's
Hmm.
beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful to live a beautiful
Yeah, yeah,
way. I mean,
I get that.
I definitely believe that's beautiful. But at the same time, you need to see that what you're doing is you're decorating your own present, as Dr. Vipula shared. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this whole spiritual journey. I
Yeah.
mean, you leave the usual religions and philosophies, including Buddhist philosophy, Hindu. But then there was this emergence of spiritual speakers, starting from Krishnamurti, Ramana Maharishi, and then coming to Osho and Alan Watts. I mean, if I go on, uh,
Hmm.
I will run into 100 names, and then coming
Yeah.
to Tony Parsons, Kenneth Madden, and Jim Newman, and that, and then currently, you have these uh, the youth generation like Anna Brown
Yeah.
immersion, and I find that there's underpinning message. There's one like cutting across everyone.
Yeah.
It's just
Hmm.
that one person will explain that in hours, while another person will
Yeah.
just say something, you take it or leave it. Uh,
Hmm.
I think that's how it is. I mean, whatever
Yeah.
the way you say, you end up with what you're saying. This is a matrix,
This
right?
is a total matrix. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that probably, I mean, if that is recognized, the search will end, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. That's one of the like if you ask me what had really happened in the awakening, my seeking stopped. My
Absolutely.
the identity of that seeking, I was very intensely seeking. I was enjoying at the same time. I felt like a treasure hunt. And so once that is the bliss, that stopping of this whole seeking. I mean, otherwise we are constantly in the
It is. It
in a
is.
seeking mode, like just forget about truth, like seeking for material like fame or the money or the power or like whatever, or the knowledge, they're in a constant seeking.
Okay. So one of the advices you gave was, follow the heart, look at yourself.
Yeah, follow
And,
the heart is a big one, Dr. Vipula. This is what I did. Like, even though I had,
mm,
you can see, like, I just followed my heart. And
mm,
I am so grateful. I didn't even know why I did that. Like, I was very intuitive person, like I feel energies, I just feel energy. Even when I talk to someone, I feel energy. And when I listen to a teacher, I feel their energy. So I was very quite intuitive person. Only thing I did was following my heart. Sometimes I got this so urge to talk to a person, got so urge to send an email to another person,
mm-hmm.
got the urge to do like a very different kind of a exercise where I take my phone and I start writing down my identities out of nowhere. And then I just start questioning this. And like, I was just following my heart. That's the only thing I did. I just did whatever I felt right.
Right. What
You
you
know?
feel, you see, thoughts, sensation, feelings,
Yeah,
emotions. Now there is duality. There are
exactly. Yeah,
there are
yeah,
cooling thoughts.
yeah, yeah.
Soothing thoughts, and there are thoughts which will take you like a train. You are getting. Now what you are suggesting is you can observe both. You can observe what's happening with you. But then this question comes when you have the choice, you know, tea or coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee may be bad for your health, but tea may be good.
Yeah,
But you will
yeah.
opt to have a coffee. How do you describe that?
It's like this, Dr. Vipula. I understand about this whole preferences, what I'm talking about intuition or following heart is like even beyond that preferences. There's something very intuitive. You just know something. It's obvious to you.
Okay.
It's
Uh,
not
mm,
like you're following your thoughts or even emotions, because even if you take the emotions at the end, emotions are following your thoughts. So it's
exactly.
like your thoughts are reflecting in your body or something like that. But what I'm saying is even more subtle. Some very, very, very subtle inner voice within you saying that, like, when I wanted to when I wanted to send an email to a person, that is what I need to do at that particular moment. I am so sure. This
Mm,
is obvious.
yeah. Okay. I mean, basically, you look at the sincerity in you, in the sense is,
Yes, yes.
I mean,
Let
underneath.
me tell you another one more thing that I can be brutally honest. You don't need to be, now just don't be so rude and go to other people and tell all your opinions about it. So it's not like that. Please just be brutally honest with yourself, at least in your journal, within yourself. That's the only way. I have seen many different enlightened or realized people. There's one quality that I've seen in every single being. They are brutally honest people. They are very honest.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
When you say brutally honest, it might not go in line with the social conditions. For example, if you want to talk to someone, and say if you work in an office and you are working with a boss, and sometimes the boss comes and expresses his opinion about the world and the politics and the religion, and you will nod your head, although deep down you might say this guy is talking
Yeah,
bullshit.
that's what I said. Just you be brutally honest with yourself, because otherwise you will be a huge chaos and a war. You're creating a huge mess around you. So just be honest with yourself. Even if you tell a lie to someone, I'm
Yeah,
not suggesting you to lie or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, you lied. You know what I mean? So this path is like a complete honest path. You got to be honesty is the key. You know, if you start
honesty
being
to
really
one's.
honest, asking what is the truth, you will again end up in the reality. If you're looking for the truth again, like just like I said, happiness.
Yeah, right.
If you again look for the truth about anything in life, again you'll end up in there. That's what I said. Like, forget about the truth. At least just figure out the lies that you are just doing, because like that's what I did in my life, honestly speaking. When I was in a workplace, I was looking at the whole like pretension, the false, like all this. I just go observe, and then not only that, like, let me be honest, I was looking at my own pretensions, my own
Absolutely. We do
lies.
that all the time.
Oh, trust me, I had mine too, And then I was looking at my family, and then each member was observing, and then and then I was in the university and observing these people, and then there was another interesting phenomena, because like that's the cream of the country,
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
cream of Sri Lanka. And so I was just observing the lies. That's the good way. Rather than looking for truth, look for the lies. That's another way, because it's about stripping away all these lies, and the truth will be right there.
Absolutely.
It's just
Yeah, that has to be, because I mean, we know for sure this how can it be? It just first you make the cake and then you put icing on top of it.
Yeah. Now the problem is really, if I tell you, Dr. Vipula, the lies are so high, like one after one after one after one, so much lies like stacked up, and the truth is so buried within, I mean, and you have all invested in these lies very long time.
Exactly.
And now you don't want to even hear. I mean, what this
No,
Dilmi has to say,
quite honestly,
Yeah.
quite honestly, I moved from my profession into
Yeah.
academia, and
Yeah.
because I wanted to share my working experience with the upcoming, and my prime objective was to make the students more creative, innovative, and come up with, and break the fences and come out and, but then I began to
And
realize
I was
that.
having a conversation with one of your students, Dr. Vipula, here, and she
All right.
said you're quite interesting person, and you come and laugh with them, and very, very different. We have this very different style. And she said you come and like joke with them and let's laugh, and it's very different. I think that is the way to go in the future. It's like a friendly.
I hope she didn't say anything bad about me.
No, that's what she said.
All right. No. Why? Because
Yeah.
you see,
So I'm
I still
saying that,
remember. I still remember. I used to ask this very question. In school, during the lecture, I used to ask them, "Do you dream in the night? How many of you?" Almost everyone says, "Yeah, we dream." I said, "Is the dream real while dreaming? Is the dream real while dreaming?"
That's a really good question.
Yeah, is the dream real? Well, yeah. Then, now there's a discussion, and I asked them afterwards, what
Unless
makes
it's
you.
a lucid dream.
Yeah. So then I asked them, okay, what makes you think that this is not a dream? And then everyone they completely go silent. What makes you think this is not a dream? I mean, but you see, the whole purpose of putting these pointers across is to, I mean, this life existence is not what you just think, I'll pass my degree and then I go and work for a company, or I'll join this organization.
For
It's
this, I
something.
remembered one story. Shall I share that, Dr. Vipula?
Yeah, go ahead. I think it's
Yes,
useful.
So there was this, I even written this in my book, actually, The Life is a Dream. So there's this story of a king, like, and then this king was like coming into the palace and said because he was looking very sad, and then the minister was asking, why are you looking sad? And then he said, like, no, I had this weird dream. And he said, what is it? Like, I had this dream where I was like flying, and I was a butterfly. I was flying this from to this to that flower, and then I just stayed in a flower, and I started resting in one of the flowers, and I fell asleep. And then the minister asked, "Oh, it's a beautiful dream. What do you all said about it?" "No, minister, the problem is I'm not sure whether I am the butterfly dreaming to be a minister, the king, or I'm the king. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Whether this is a dream, and then
Yeah,
I'm
whether
thinking
that
about
is
it.
the dream or this is the dream. I mean, it's just confused in with them. And these stories really hit you if you really listen to.
Absolutely, and of course there are many pointers. There is something which Muji said some time back, which really hit me, because he said the ship is moving with a big engine, and you all are busy rowing. The ship is moving with a big engine. You are busy rowing, things like that. And but let me. I mean, I don't want to like quote many things, but let me ask you this radical question. This is a very, very radical question. Now we are talking about this topic: life, existence, suffering, and matrix. And finally it came to a point, yes, this is a matrix, because it's only if you awake from this matrix, you will see it. But in reality, then, from the perspective of what you have described, all what we are talking here is also not true. I mean, even this conversation for nearly 1 hour, um, it's not true. I mean, there is no person who is questioning you, and there's no one answering.
Yeah, I never said I'm talking the truth.
No.
It's all lies. It's all lies.
And there are no seekers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all lies. What we even talked about is very much lies. But at least these are beautiful lies which is pointing towards the truth.
So in other words, the language fails here, right? The language.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember there's this one, like there is this one time, like Buddha shared that, like, remember that even whatever I'm saying is not true, like something similar to that. I can't really remember. So even what I'm saying is not exactly the truth. Even that is like just a point. Even that itself is another lie. But these lies will just create the bridge for you to go into the other way, other side of it. So
That's
use
why,
it, and then even leave it. You use it for the sake of it, and then just leave it.
and quite
It's
reasonably.
like this. It's like you take a boat and you go to the other side. You will not carry that boat on even after going there. You will just leave the boat and you will just go like it. So I would say these words are similar to that, Dr. Vipula, like you just.
And this is freedom, isn't it? I mean, for no one, but this is just freedom.
This is just freedom. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I would say but it's completely.
And even here, we are not talking about any tradition, any practice, any as such. What we say is something very free, very free. You don't need to do anything, like you don't need to like be in a particular way or just do some like have some rules or anything like that. Just free and following your heart. But yeah.
With this understanding, okay, let's not say enlightenment, but we'll say with this understanding, it's a big joke, isn't it? Everything it's a joke.
It is. Trust me, it's like a big bloody joke. It's funny you said that, because I remember like when I woke up to this whole reality, like I remember I was talking with one of the teachers and I said, "Oh my God, this is such a big crazy joke, isn't it?" That's what I said to him, and then he said, "Now you know the joke. Yeah, like just go live your life." Like, yeah, so it's a big joke, You are the creator, you are the director of all movie, and you are the audience. it's just,
And you are trying to
you
describe, the narration, and you are trying to describe the narration of everyone.
that's a joke. And that's why there was this realized being called Laughing Buddha. And
Yeah, that's right.
I can't remember exact story about him yet. Like I remember that he took this whole thing as like a joke, wherever he went, he was laughing because he could see the whole joke of everything in life. He was just laughing and just having, I think he had a bag of chocolates and sweets and he was just like giving away to children. And that's one of the things I also like to do. Sometimes I give chocolates to people. And so he was just walking around and laughing because he knew this truth. But he looked like a beggar, like with a big belly and was just, just living a very simple life, but laughing. And
Exactly.
laughing is like a reflection. Oh my God, the whole
It
thing is a
it cannot,
joke.
emerge. That kind of a laugh cannot emerge. And
Yeah.
this is also kind of a radical question. Okay, someone can imitate you, speak just like you, absolutely like you. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can have the skills, the people. I mean, the great stand-up comedies, how they
Yeah.
imitate, how they speak
Yeah.
with languages, and whether that person, these are good questions, right? I want you to
Okay.
just
Yeah.
listen to this carefully. Someone will imitate as a
Mm-hmm.
person who is awakened and mention everything like what you have mentioned
Uh-huh.
and appear to be the thing. Now, there are two ways in which we can look at that scenario. It's someone
Mm-hmm.
appearing as a spiritual leader and speaking like this without a single mistake,
Mm-hmm.
response like that.
Yeah.
One assumption is, uh, okay, he has seen it, he has recognized it, and that's why he is talking. The other one is, no, he's pretending, he has not seen this, he doesn't know
Mm.
what it is, but he is
Mm.
pretending. And
Mm.
third one is exactly what we are talking about. There is no one pretending and there is no one awakened, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the necessity to evaluate that whether that person has awakened or not awakened or sin doesn't arise.
It doesn't arise.
But that's another paradigm in the seeing through, right? It's a paradigm in the seeing through, not this discussion.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not in this. Yeah.
Yeah,
In this.
exactly. So this
Yeah.
is why,
Yeah.
now say for example, now for you to live in these two worlds, but then that is what you are living in two worlds. But again, it is wrong to say you are living in two worlds.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dilmi, I think this is a very useful
Yeah.
discussion because I have seen. I mean, if you look at some of the spiritual pages of the Facebook, and then also this discussion, and especially in Sri Lanka, as you know, this being a Buddhist country, now there are a lot of speakers who are comparing the Buddhist philosophy with non-duality and modern spirituality.
Mm.
And basically, I want you to give a one final last thing so that we can end our conversation, and I'm sure that will be also useful to them. Among inter alia, all what you mentioned in this conversation about this life, peace life matrix.
Yeah. So, Dr. Vipula, lastly, I would suggest you to question even your so-called obvious in life. So, for example, your birth story is a complete, I said complete fiction. That's something very radical to even say. Now, would you say that my birth story is a fiction? I mean, how dare you say something like that? But what I'm saying is those are your so-called, your family, your father, your mother, and
The
this is
sun
very
and the
strong.
moon and the sky, the planets.
Yeah, and then the sun, sun rises from this side and and then there's this earth, and what I'm saying is everything that like start questioning even the so-called obvious, and for example, like if you take that like people have said the 1960 whatever, the Neil Armstrong has gone into the moon, like have gone, like just landed in the moon and this sense. How do we know that this is the truth? It could be in a very nicely done studio. Like let's be honest. Let's be honest. I mean, yes, we have studied that in the book, and now you just truly believed it. And I'm just took one example. Honestly speaking, I have questioned even those. And that's why I'm telling about these things, because what if those are nicely built? I'm not saying that is the truth either. They might have gone to the moon, but do you see how tricky whatever we believe, how fragile
Absolutely.
they just like that? So what I'm saying, just even question the so-called obvious in your life. Yeah.
Do you advocate self-inquiry, or
Of
turning
course, I
attention to
do.
oneself?
I
Yeah.
do. I do. I do. For sure, I would do, like, more than just sitting. I definitely uh, promote you to, like, go just inquire, like, just that inquiry makes a huge difference, you know, for especially if someone is intellectual, has gone through this whole academic process, and a person like that to do inquiry and contemplations are very useful, because I'm also coming from that background. And so, yeah, I definitely
Um,
see it.
right. So, Demi, I think we are very grateful to you for having uh, this interview and taking the time to speak to our audience. And I have no doubt that this is going to benefit, because this time, we took a topic, very candidly, and we didn't leave, no stone was left unturned. I think, we asked the very basic question, and I believe that the ones, who are, who are into this can open this prison and see this. But then, as you said, you have to be brutally honest with you. I think that's the kind of a prerequisite, so to say.
Yes.
So, yeah, right. Dilmi, thank you very much once again. So, our yet another conversation with Ms. Dilmi Mahadurage, and we will see you very soon with another topic that will revolve around the liberation, freedom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.